I have an obsession. And like all obsessions, it begins with the YouTube algorithm discovering that I enjoyed one single video and deciding to serve me only that type of content until it's the only thing that fills my mind, and my wife leaves me for quote unquote having a problem. About a year ago, my lease was coming to an end, and at the last place I was living at, I was at a crossroads. Where am I going to live next? I wasn't going to stay at that place because they just kept on raising rent, and I was trying to save some of that dough. So I started thinking about my options. There were the following: renew at the current place, rent in a new place, put a down payment on a condo, put a down payment on a house. Now, those last two options were just not going to realistically happen, but I really did not want to be a renter anymore. So my horizons broadened and I thought out of the box. How could I not be a renter, but also not have to buy a house? And in comes a fifth option. The thing that absolutely exploded about 6 years ago when the dark times began. And I'm talking about van life. So I did a ton of research about how living on the move works, the logistics, ups and downs, etc., yada, yada. I started watching video after video on people living in vans, converting vans, mutating into vans. I saw big vans, tiny vans, blue vans, green vans. There were pricey vans, cheap vans, meet the middle average vans, not to mention tall vans, short vans, sleek vans, rugged vans, chocolate vans, travel pants, pretty plants, van plans, and some shoe vans? What? In the end, I did actually end up doing the thing I wanted to avoid though, and I rented a new place. My daydreaming of a free life, not tied to the whims of a landlord, and to have my own complete agency living in something I own was at the end of a road I drove down so rapidly. It's been about half a year since I went through all that, and now I am just living my life in various ways in a comfortable space, but the thought still danced in my brain, tickling my synapses in a way I couldn't scratch. Then it dawned on me. I was worried about a van life because that would be a major leap in lifestyle. I would go from a comfortable, sturdy way of life to a mobile and uncertain one, with no home to return to if I feel like it's too much. Plus, I thought it would have been really cool to build the van camper from scratch, buying a used cargo van with nothing in it, and alongside my dad helping me, creating the mobile life of my dreams. But that isn't any task. It takes space. It takes money. It takes tools. It takes time. And it takes skill. And on the cusp of needing to move, that was all weighing far too heavy on my feebly weak little mind. Now though, I have space. I'm willing to put in the time. I can get the tools, and I would love for my dad to start teaching me the skill. So I started watching videos and looking up information again. Oh, city vans, sprinter vans, passenger vans, worksite vans. I won't bore you with this again because I'm sure you get the point. I wanted to be realistic with it, and maybe this time, instead of living in it full time, I can use the fact that I already have a home to my advantage and build one for vacationing and traveling instead, experiencing it without the pressure of needing it. After everything is said and done though, reality of course always hits, and I'm reminded that this is probably a dumb idea both financially and just in general, and just an obsession I want to talk about. I mean, yes, I could put in time and money, but it's going to take quite a bit of both. The budget, I'm sure, will balloon larger than expected, and while I'd like to hope I could do this project in a few months, it'll likely take up to a year to complete. It'd honestly just be pretty stupid to dive into something like this without a ton of established housing stability, both in my personal life and the economy nowadays. And the whole van life craze has been slowing down since COVID has been more and more left behind in the past. While I have been obsessed over this and just can't get it out of my mind. For safety's sake, I think I should just table it and focus on more realistic projects. So I just purchased this high roof Ram ProMaster 1500 with a 136-inch wheelbase, and yeah, that's mine now. That's right, baby. We shooting for the stars on this one. I'm gonna kit this bad boy out with a working, dedicated shower and modular living area that can accommodate more kitchen space, dining space, and sleeping space depending on what the needs will be. I'm gonna throw some cute solar energy on the roof and tons of battery power inside. There will be a gray water tank underneath for a working sink and shower, and plenty of fresh water stored inside. I'll have a dry flush toilet to remove the need for a black water tank, and added Starlink so that I can even record my videos wherever I go, so that I can travel without needing to worry about when I need to return. I absolutely crapped my pants when I actually pulled the trigger on this thing and saw the money actually leave my bank account, as it's the largest purchase I've ever made outside of my other vehicle. And I have zero, and I mean zero, idea how to do electrical or plumbing, as well as only basic knowledge on how to do all the rest. But now that I've already purchased this beauty, there's no turning back. Is it a smart financial decision? No. Do I have any prior experience to justify putting together all the moving parts needed to complete this large build? No. Well, I mean, not to brag, but I did make this Tonto-inspired knife, and that has one moving part. So, you know, the sheath like goes over the blade. And that only took me a measly 3 or so months to complete. God, yeah, that knife took like 3 months to complete, and I already had experience building a knife prior to that. But you know what? I need to be challenged, to have an obstacle to overcome, or I won't have the muscle to do so when I have to. And so in a way, I do have to do something that just calls to me out of passion, to create with my mind, my body, to force myself to continue to learn something, not because I have to, but because I want to. Two forces within my own nature collide. The one that wants to choose the easiest and quickest path, and the one that wants the best path. In a way, they're the same. But sweet Jesus, this is going to be such a massive mountain of a project to climb. I might be a little... If it's a mountain, then these legs are ready to at least take the first step. Good luck, future me.